Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So, once again, on behalf of the Business Awards Committee of this office, I would like to welcome all present today, the members of the Secretariat, the Technical Working Group. So, we have also invited the presenters from the Planning and Design and our observer from Commission and Audit. And of course, our prospective bidder who will be properly introduced later. So these activities will be conducted pursuant to the provisions of RA 12009, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act, particular section 51. So we're conducting this privy conference to give our prospective bidder the opportunity to ask questions, seek clarification regarding to this, with the procurement at hand. So before we formally commence, sige. May I request everyone to please rise for the opening prayer session led by Ma'am DEO.
Lord, thank you for loving us today. As we begin this prayer with confidence, with our hearts with Islam, vision, and faith. Help us work together with our prayer and Holy Spirit, so that everything can be successful and beneficial to the community.
The Secretary will now call the roll.
Okay, good afternoon po sa ating lahat. For the roll call of attendees for today's private conference for 3 infrastructure project, we'll start with the presenter from Planning and Design section, Engineer Christian Andre C. Castillo. Engineer Miguel Bituin, and Engineer Hernani Aldrin Acosta. The head of the BAC Technical Working Group, Engineer Vivian Diana D. Castillo. For the BAC Secretariat, Ms. Renjin M. Umadi. And the head of the BAC Secretariat, yours truly, Cyrus Waldo Tordesillas. For our BAC member, Engineer Julie Margaret Rica Blanca. And Engineer Jobert M. Baldria.
Good afternoon po, President.
Our BAC Chairperson, Engineer Andrew Fernan F. Marquez.
Good afternoon.
Let us acknowledge the presence of the representative from the Commission of Audit, Ms. Concesa Bigay. And also from our prospective bidder from Houseland, Ms. Roxanne Umanda. That's all for today.
Thank you, Engineer Sai, the head of the BAC Secretariat. So with the presence of the majority of the BAC members, we hereby confirm the presence of a quorum and that the committee is authorized to proceed with today's activity. So this private conference, by the way, so for information of our prospective bidder, any amendments or clarification made during this or discussed during this conference shall be officially addressed by the BAC through issuance of a supplemental bid bulletin. So we are also reminding our prospective bidder that only issues raised in writing shall be officially addressed by the BAC through appropriate issuance. So can we present the agenda? So for today's agenda, we have the following. First will be the presentation of projects, plan, and scope of works, general information, and the question from our bidder or observer. So let's proceed with our first project. First project is for 20 DB0143 Convergence and Special Support Program Basic Infrastructure Program BIP Public Water Supply System, construction of public water supply system, Sitio, Cuaco, Barangay, Banilad, Nasugbu, Batangas, with an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000. Contract duration of 150 calendar days. Source of fund SI 2026-07-018334. Size range, mobile license category CND, and for the cost of reading documents, 5,000 pesos. So to present the plan scope of work, and the representative from the DPS. Give me number, please.
Good afternoon po. So for our first project po, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program BIP, Public Water Supply System, Construction of Public Water Supply System, Sitio, Cuaco, Barangay Banilad, Nasugbu, Batangas, with an approved budget of 4,160,000 and a project duration of 150 calendar days. So this is our location po. Then our plan po. Then scope of work. And for the bills of quantities po, for part A, provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, provision of progress photographs. For part B, permits and clearances, project billboard or signboards, occupational safety and health, and mobilization or demobilization. For part C, we have clearing and grabbing, structural excavation for common site, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, and gravel field. For part D, we have structural concrete with 3,000 PSI class A, reinforcing steel, grade 4 and grade 60, and formworks and falsworks. For part E, we have soil poisoning, painting works for masonry or concrete, painting works for steel, and structural steel. And for part F, we have solar panel with inverter, battery, and other devices. And for part G, we have water pumping system. For part K, we have pipeline trench excavation and fill and backfill. So for the plans for this is the front page for index of drawings, general notes, the key map, vicinity map, and location map, summary of quantity, the project billboard, the plan for the solar and water tank, and also the elevation, the details for pedestal, foundation plan, and details of tie-beam, the details of trench, pipe connection, and the distribution line, and also the well details for next is the solar panel plan together with the site elevation and panel layouts po. And lastly, the details of the bill page po. And for the last page po, we have the single line diagram for the electric line.
Okay, thank you. Let's proceed with the next project. For 144, organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system asset preservation program, construction, upgrading, rehabilitation of drainage along national roads, secondary roads, Palico-Balayan-Batangas Road at kilometer 0119 plus 660.30 to kilometer 0120 plus 100. With an approved budget for the contract of 16,853,060 pesos. Contract duration 207 calendar days. Source of fund JA 2026, size range small b, license category CNB, and for the cost of bidding documents 25,000 pesos. So yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. So for the second project, organization of outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, construction, upgrading, rehabilitation of drainage along national roads, secondary roads, Palico-Balayan-Batangas Road, kilometer 119 plus 660 from 30 to kilometer 120 plus 100. So project type is construction of drainage, appropriation 17,197,000, and approved budget for the contract 16,853,060 pesos, and project duration of 206 calendar days. So here is the project location at Barangay Sinisuan, City of Palacan, Batangas, Philippines. So these are the scope of work. And these are the bill of quantities. So for part A, we have a provision of field office for the engineer, rental basis, a provision of furniture, fixtures of equipment and appliances for the field office for the engineer, provision of field office staff for assistance to the engineer, and provision of progress photographs. So for part B, we have project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, and motorization or demotorization. For part C, we have individual removal of trees, for 501 to 750 mm and for 751 to 900 mm diameter. We also have individual removal of trees above 900 mm diameter. We also have removal of structures obstruction, removal of actual structures obstruction, 0.15 meter thick PCCT on reinforced. We also have a removal of existing guardrails, a surplus common excavation, structure excavation of common soil, embankment from roadway structure excavation, common soil, and subgrade preparation, common material. So for part D, we have aggregate base course. For part B, we have Portland cement concrete pavement and reinforced 2.20 meter thick 14 bays. For part G, we have a pipe culvert, class 2 RCPC, line canal or rectangular reinforced concrete, high density polyethylene pipe, structured wall pipe, manholes 910 millimeter diameter concrete, inlets pipe 910 millimeter diameter. We also have concrete covers 910 mm diameter, metal frames and covers, stone masonry. For part H, we have curb and gutter cast in place, curb and gutter precast, sidewalk 100 mm thick, and last, we have signaling samples for other programs or initiatives. So here are the plan. Cover page, the index of drawings, the key map, vicinity map, and the layout plan. So here are the general notes. Summary of quantities, abbreviations, DPWH standard billboard and corresponding billboard, the ECC standard billboard, the materials map. So presented on the screen are the typical road sections, details, the schedule of quantities, the plan and profile, the straight line diagram, details of reinforced concrete covered canal, with curved inlet, concrete covers, the details for service hole, for steel run details, side with typical sections, the isometric view, the precast curve and gutter details, and the rear elevation of curve and gutter. So these are the details for the trench and the stone masonry, apron slab, and the parapet wall. So these are the traffic management plan layout in its details. These are the DBT for these are the cross-sections. So the
Thank you, Engineer. So let's proceed with our last project, 26 DB0147, Organization Outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program construction, upgrading rehabilitation of drainage along national roads, secondary roads, Roads-Palico-Balayan-Batangas Road at kilometer 0120 plus 413 to kilometer 0121 plus 096. With an approved budget for the contract of 21,850,080 pesos. Contract duration 180 calendar days. Source of fund JA 2026 size range small b. License categories in the and cost of bidding documents 25,000 pesos. So, yeah, please proceed.
Good afternoon po. For our third project, project title po is Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Asset Preservation Program, Construction, Upgrading, Rehabilitation of Drainage along National Roads, Secondary Roads, Palico-Balayan-Batangas Road, kilometer 120 plus 413 to kilometer 121 plus 096. Project type is construction of drainage with an appropriation of 22,296,000 pesos. Approved budget for the contract is 21,850,080 pesos with a project duration of 180 calendar days. So this is the project location. It's located at Barangay Sitio West, Lemery, Batangas. So here's the scope of work. Yan. Okay. For bill of quantities, we have part A, facilities for engineer. It includes the provision of field office for engineer, rental basis, provision of furniture, fixtures, equipment, and appliances for the field office for the engineer, provision of field office staff for the assistance to the engineer, and provision of progress photographs for part B, other general requirements, it includes the project billboard, signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, and the mobilization or demobilization. For part C, earthwork, it includes the individual removal of trees, 301 to 500 mm diameter, removal of structures and obstruction, removal of actual structures or obstruction, 0.15 m thick PCCP and reinforced, removal of actual structures obstruction, 0.1 meter thick sidewalk wall, and removal of actual structures or obstruction, curb and gutter po. So, continuation of part C, we have surplus common excavation, structure excavation common soil, embankment from roadway structure excavation, common soil, and lastly for part C, subgrade preparation, common material. For part D, which is sub-base and base course po, we have aggregate base course po. For part A, surface course, we're going to use Portland cement concrete pavement and reinforced 0.15 m thick for 14. So for part G, drainage and slope protection structures, it includes the pipe culvert, class 4 RCPC, line canal, rectangular reinforced concrete, manhole with 9-10 mm diameter CHP, inlets type 9-10 mm diameter, and concrete cover 9-10 mm diameter. Part G ulit, metal frames and covers, and stone masonry. For our part H, miscellaneous structures po natin ito, we have curb and gutter cast in place, curb and gutter precast, and sidewalk with 100 mm thick po, and also seedlings, saplings for other programs and initiatives. So, for our plan, ito po yung part po ng plan natin. So, we have the cover page po. And then, index of drawings. So, ito po yung key map, vicinity of location map ng ating pong project. General construction notes. So, summary of quantities. Next, project billboards po. And then, meron po tayong ECC billboard gawa po ng ating tatanggaling trees. So, here's the materials map. Ito po yung ating roadway sections po. Yeah. Yung part 2 of our roadway section at yung detail po nung ano nila, road section. So, ito po yung schedule of quantities natin. Ito po yung ating drainage plan and profile. So, Ito po yung ating straight line diagram, ating right. And well, another straight line. Ayan po, details po ng parapet at details po ng ating stone mass boom. Ito po yung ating details po naman ng ating reinforced concrete covered canal at yun pong ano po, curb and gutter po natin. Ito po yung ating service hole po, yung isometric view at yung general layout po niya. Ito po yung ano naman para man po sa service hole po, for RCPC canal. Ito po yung ating traffic management, ano po, plan. Ito po yung ating cross section. So 3 pages po yung ating 4 pages po yung ating cross section. So that's all po. Okay.
Thank you. So to present the general information and other instruction to bidders, I have Engineer Robert Rodriguez back, member.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-or-fail criterion. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizen, sole proprietorships, cooperatives, and partnerships for organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders until before 10 a.m. August 20, 2026 from the Procurement Unit Office, DPWH Batangas First DEO and upon payment of the applicable fee. Bidding documents may also be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEPS and DPWH websites, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents before the submission of their bids. Bids must be duly received by the back secretariat through first manual submission to the Procurement Unit Office, DPWH Batangas First DEO, or online electronic submission through the email electronic bids_batangas1@dpwh.gov.ph on or before August 20, 2026 at 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by bid security and acceptable forms and in the amount stated in ITD Clause 16. The bidder shall submit one original of the technical and financial components of each bid written in the indelible ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representatives. All envelopes shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters, be addressed to procuring entities back, bear the specific contract identification of this bidding process, and bear a warning do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids. The bidder shall enclose their original eligibility and technical documents in one sealed envelope marked technical component and their financial component in another sealed envelope marked financial component, sealing them all in an outer envelope. The bid documents, technical and financial proposal must be book bounded or fastened at the left side with ear tag in an A4 size of bond paper, font size 10 or up in 70 to 100% scale, with documentary stamps and paginated as per DEO 90 series of 2002. Bid opening is on August 20, 2026 at 10 a.m. at the back conference room, DPWH Batangas First DEO. Bids will be open in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. Contractors who wish to participate in the bidding are encouraged to enroll in DPWH CWA at the DPWH Procurement Service, while those already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. If during post-qualification process, back verifies any deficiency due to contractor's fault or negligence pursuant to Section 63.2 of the IRR of RA 12009, the procuring entity will disqualify the contractor from award without any right or reimbursing of fees. Additional project requirements is mandatory submission of the following under ITB 12.1H. Latest general information sheet, GIS reflecting beneficial ownership information duly received by the SEC for corporations. DPWH reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award a contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For contractors with an official representative, they are required to secure a special power of attorney for single proprietorship, while for corporation or incorporated, they are required to present a secretary's certificate together with their latest board resolution. You may visit the following websites for downloading of bidding documents at www.dpwh.gov.ph and www.philjeps.gov.ph. For electronic submission of bid, electronic bids_Batangas1 at dpwh.gov.ph. For further information, please refer to Engineer Andrew Fernan S. Marquez, our back chairperson, DPWH Batangas First DEO, contact number 0437030004, or to our back secretariat with the same address and number. Deadline of submission of bids, August 20, 2026, on or before 10 a.m. Opening of bids, August 20, 2026 at 10 a.m. Address, back conference room, DPWH Batangas First DEO, Barangay Lanatan Balayan, Batangas. Office contact number 0437030004, and our office email address, back_Batangas1 at dpwh.gov.ph.
Thank you, Chief Jobert Valdez, our back number. So we shall now open the floor for your questions from our server and prospective leader. So there being none, and there being no further matter to discuss, the private conference for today is hereby adjourned at exactly 3:10 in the afternoon. Once again, thank you everyone for your participation. Thank you.